All right, y'all. I'm so excited for this morning's interview. I was telling Nathan before we got started this morning, I was like, I get to interview the most gorgeous, positive, fun woman today. And I'm so excited to get to know you. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. This sounds right up my alley, and I was so excited to be a part of this.
Yeah, you guys, I'm going to let Ashley introduce herself, but you probably know her because she has over a 500,000 followers over on TikTok, just a hair under that on Instagram. And I've been following Ashley actually through a good friend and client of mine. Caroline Jones sent me your information. Does she message you?
I love her.
Oh
She
my
is the sweetest person. She has just been such a good friend to me. She's been following me for like we follow each other since the
Yeah.
beginning, and I just love her. She's
Oh
just the
my God.
sweetest.
Well, there we go, you guys. This is so amazing. The benefits of social media. I'm sure today we'll get into a few of the not so fabulous areas of social media, but I'll let Ashley Mixon introduce herself.
So, hey everybody, my name is Ashley Mixon. I'm 44. I'm actually going to be 45 September 30th. I can't even believe it's creeping up this fast. I am from Georgia. I used to be a model for about 15 years. I started when I was about 15 years old and I went until I was about 30. So, I had a pretty good run and I lived all over the world. I started doing skincare when I was 11. My mother did not teach me skincare because her mother did not teach her, but I just kind of came out of her womb wanting to be very extra. And so I was reading Vogue at 11, and Cindy Crawford and Linda Evangelista all taught me my skincare. So I was doing that, but I was doing it with apricot scrub and Noxzema and sea breeze. So when I tell people don't use that, it's because I have used it and it's a cautionary tale. Don't use that.
Oh
And
my God.
I just love skincare. I've always been I've had to be confident in my life because I'm 6 feet tall. I was 5'8" in sixth grade. I've always been very tall. I've always gotten picked on for like, I don't know why I can't help it. I used to ask my dad when I was little, is there any way that I can make my legs shorter? And he was like, honey, no, because people would make fun of me. So I decided to cut off a pair of pants and make them capris. Everybody made fun of me because Vogue was doing capris. The next summer everybody's doing capris, and I'm like, y'all just be quiet and let me live my life. So I've had to just kind of be this confident person, even though I would come home crying because the older bullies, but I'd never let them see me sweat and never let them. I always was just like, oh, I hate that for you, and just kept it moving. Um, I'm really big on confidence. I'm really big on people finding the strength and being their best selves, whether that be through exercise, skincare. I'm all about normalizing being who you want to be, being as extra as you want to be, over the top, high maintenance, whatever it may be. Do it and do it with your whole chest. Don't apologize for it. You're not hurting anybody. As long as you're not hurting anybody, do what you want to do.
I love it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've resonated with you as well. So Ashley has the Mixon method, and definitely how I started following you was Caroline was telling me, she's like, because I'll be honest with you, I was just kind of like yourself. However, I knew nothing about skincare. My mom really didn't do anything when it was skincare. She like really always worried about her like brown marks and wrinkles and all the things, but I didn't really see her doing anything with it. Well, unfortunately for me, I now at 40, almost 42 years old, I just now started even thinking about it. Like I was the girl who literally used like the drugstore face whatever face wash, threw on a little cream, probably like Olay, because that's what like my mom and my grandma used. And if I'm lucky, I didn't even do that. Like I did wash my face every day. So I feel like I'm a little ahead of the crowd because I know a lot of girls
Yeah.
don't do that, but I really hadn't paid attention to it. And now, as I'm getting older and I have a lot more wrinkles and I played professional golf, so I was always outside in the sun, I have horrible sun marks. Well, now I'm paying attention to it. But one of my girlfriends said something that very similar to what you said. One of my girlfriends said I got really lucky when I was, and she's just like you, she's gorgeous. And she said, I got really lucky when I was a kid because I think it was her cousin told her, hey, you have one face, you better treat it well. And from that moment on, she's always done it. So you have been doing this skincare. Now, you're the Korean, like your method is based upon the Korean skincare method, right?
Yes, it's based upon the Korean beauty method. But first, let me say, you're doing an amazing job to cleanse your skin and put moisturizer on. So don't, give yourself a pat on the back because that's a lot more than a lot of people are doing. And secondly, there's nothing wrong with drugstore cleansers, Olay. I
Oh,
use
I
Olay
follow you,
for
bro. I know some of your
years.
stuff is not like the most, I did
No.
go and I bought like the really, I wish, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I didn't look at to see what it was before so I could get your opinion on it. But my girlfriend Julie, the one who told me about the skin, she's the one who said, "Oh, this is what I use and it's quite, it's quite expensive, it's quite nice." But a lot of the things that you use and that you share on your social are not like hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
No, Korean beauty is really affordable. It lasts a very long time because in the Korean beauty community, skincare is a lifestyle. It's not a trend. It's not a quick, fast now. In Western skincare, I think that's why there's more med spas. Well, and there's tons of med spas in Korea as well, but more, more fast now. More fast now, let's exfoliate, tretinoin, retinoids. In Korea, they never used retinoids. They only used ginseng, uh, copper peptides, things like that. Just recently in the late 90s, a Korean brand called IOPE was the first Korean brand to bring a retinoid into the Korean beauty community because they are also adapting and adopting Western skincare in with their Korean. It's a beautiful relationship that it's starting to evolve with the Korean beauty community. But what happened with my skin, how I got into Korean beauty is when I turned 37, I started getting hormonal acne around my chin. And before that, when I was 15, I took a round of Accutane. And for those who don't know, Accutane is isotretinoin. It's basically an oral tretinoin, and it's a very strong medication and it gets rid of acne. I'm a true believer, but you have to do it correctly. You can't drink alcohol. You cannot be in the sun. But I was 15. I wasn't doing any of that anyway. And I took it. It cleared my skin up from the age of 15 to 37. At 37, I started getting pimples and I said, "Oh no, this is not working for me." I went to the dermatologist. She asked how old I was. She goes, "Yeah, you need to be on a retinoid. Why are you not on retinoids?" "I don't know. I'm just not." She put me on tretinoin. She gave me a medicine called spironolactone, which has also helped. And my skin started drying out so badly from the tretinoin. I call it the tretinoin scalies, lizard skin. And I said, "Oh my goodness, I've got to do something for hydration." I started researching and I came across Soko Glam, which is the website that I buy all of my Korean skincare. And I came across this amazing person called Charlotte Cho, who is the co-founder of Soko Glam. And she taught me everything I knew about Korean beauty. She wrote all these beautiful blogs, and I just was so just fascinated by the whole thing. So I started double cleansing, and I did it all wrong at first. And then it just started to click, and I started using Korean ingredients, and they're all natural. And my skin reacted so well to it. I said, "Oh, this is for me." And I was using La Mer. I was using the highly expensive, and I still use La Mer. I love it. But just because something is incredibly expensive doesn't make it great. Aquel licorice toner is my favorite toner. I think it's $18. And
Is
it
it the
is
one in the
something,
yellow bottle? I buy the one in the yellow bottle and the blue bottle. Okay, no,
it's
no,
this
I
one.
bought the other two you've recommended.
Okay. I've got a lot. But you can
You
get
do.
for the amount that you spend on one jar of La Mer, you have your whole skin flooding ready to go with all your toners and serums. You can do it. So yeah, I do like to mix the Korean in with French skincare and American skincare, but the Korean beauty is really getting the attention it deserves. It's well deserved. They put a lot of love into their skincare, and they've started since they were young. My kids have been doing skincare since they were born.
Do you have two girls?
I have a daughter and a son. My
And his
son is
son does
10.
it too? Oh my
Yes,
God,
he
that's the
does.
best thing ever because
He does.
my husband would do that exact same thing. He is the person who's like, yeah, he's all about it too. He wants
I
the
love
facials.
it.
He wants all the expensive stuff. And he's do you know anything about the Enneagram?
No.
Oh my gosh, you should know. But anyway, Enneagram is kind of like a personality test, but based upon like how you act. Well, my husband's an Enneagram 1 and he has to follow the rules. I'm an
I love it.
Enneagram 3 and I'm just not so much, but I have like, ever since Caroline recommended you and I've watched you, I've started to like, I've just started to be a little bit more interested, but there's certain ways, like you put the toner on first, you put the
Yeah.
hyaluronic acid, then the tretinoin, and then all
Yeah.
the things. Well, I'm not fantastic at following rules, but he is like such a Nazi when it comes to it. He's like, which one goes
Love it.
first? Where's the other jar? So I love that. So obviously we've talked a little bit about actually like what it is that you do now, but you talked about being confident as a little kid. Obviously the modeling industry is not for the faint of heart. I'm sure you went through a ton of things there. Have you always,
Yes.
I personally have always said in, everything that I've done, all of my speaking and all coaching and things like that, I believe confidence is a muscle. The more that you use it, the stronger it becomes. But has there ever been a time where you went to school and you like, do you think that that confidence muscle you've been growing since you were a kid, or tell me a little more on that?
My parents were very supportive. I'm an only child. My mom was very much like, don't put up with any BS. Know who you are. This is not, don't let somebody see you sweat. My dad always says, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Do your thing. He's very much like he likes to call people's bluff. So he says, call their bluff. If they want to be rude to you, say, well, why? Why do you feel like that? What's wrong with you? Is something wrong? Do you want to talk about it? And if you call them out on it, and also my mother, I always used to tell her she was my Julia Sugarbaker from Designing Women, because she would give you a full read just like this, tell you just how she felt, just like this. And I feel that there's nothing scarier than someone talking to you just like this and telling you exactly what they think of you, because you're like, wait a
Oh
minute,
my
did I
God.
just get read, or is she being nice? I don't know. So I just learned to not react, is basically what it is, because I feel once I've gotten older that people are mean and not kind because they grew up in an unkind household. I believe that people find comfort in chaos. Maybe they were not getting enough attention growing up, so the only attention they got is if they were in trouble. So that's what I think. Oh, I'm not getting any attention. Let me make fun of this person, and then they'll talk to me and they'll react. And then I have attention. So when people are mean or unkind, I actually feel very badly for them. I also have boundaries. If you come for my children or my family, we're going to have a problem. But normally things just roll off my back. I don't care enough, really. And I'll tell you why. The reason I started posting in January of
That's the reason
2023.
we're going to dive right into this because I
Oh
want to
yeah.
know. Yeah, like I would love to know. So you got out of the modeling industry, you started posting
Yeah.
on social media. When did this start and why?
Yeah, so with the modeling industry, you're told every day something's wrong with you. So
Totally.
that also helped build up my confidence. I've heard it all. You cannot tell me anything I don't already know. I get it. Um, my I've always done this extensive skincare. I've always been unapologetically me. And my mother passed away in June of 2022, and she died of a brain aneurysm. So we did not know. It was unexpected. She was on a trip with my two aunts, and it was very unexpected. My mother was such a strong, healthy person. So we were like, this is crazy. And my mom was my best friend. So that really sent me. But also, I'm a mom. I cannot go into this spiral. I have to keep it together. And that's my mama coming out in me for sure. So I had to keep it together. Let me find something to put this energy in. And so let me just start posting my skincare. Well, I don't know why I thought being on social media would make my life any better, because it certainly didn't at first. But I came in and I thought to myself, when people started coming at me hard, when I first started talking about snail mucin, I thought everybody used that. Well, no, they didn't. And they thought I was a crazy person. I finally
I
said
now
to
use it.
everybody,
I tell my husband, I was like, yeah, it's snail cum. Like that's
it's the
basically
best.
that's how someone described it to me as. I was like, yeah, that's what it is. And he's like, you're gonna put this shit on your face. I'm like, well, a year later, he's still putting this shit on his face.
I mean, I would let a snail crawl across my face.
I
So, I
would
mean,
love that.
me too. But I just said, you know what? People can say whatever they want because the worst thing in my life has already happened to me. My mother passed away. My mother died. It's already happened. All this other stuff of people speaking badly to me or saying whatever they need to say, that's on them. It doesn't scare me. Nothing scares me anymore. So that, I feel my mother's strength comes through with me, and
Did
I
you
feel that she's
want to do this before your mom passed away? Was this something that you were thinking about doing? Were you thinking about doing it for like personal or business, or like what was kind of like that
I
beforehand?
really wasn't. I was really a hands-on mom, which I still am, but I was a sports mom. I was a baseball mom, a cheer mom, all of that. And I really poured my heart into my kids' activities, which I still do. But I also felt that I was projecting onto my kids. My son got burnt out on baseball. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you a break because I don't want this. And I felt like I was doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And that wasn't fair to my children for me to live vicariously through them, to have something to do. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I had a realization, and it was the best thing for them. My son loves playing baseball again. So everything works out the way it should. But no, I had never really thought of, I've always kind of been in the public eye. I was always written up in the New York Post when I was a model. Ashley, and my maiden name is Shelton. Ashley Shelton out on the town with this one and that one and all that. So I've always kind of been used to it, and it was always fun for me. But I don't know. I think I was a fitness instructor for a while. I really enjoyed helping people, and I always wanted to help people be their best self. Nothing makes me feel better than to hear from someone, "Oh, I did this because you recommended it, and I'm getting so many compliments." I love that. So, no, it wasn't something that was planned, and I think that's the way that things work out the best is when you don't plan them.
But you wanted to do it. You want, like, were people asking, because people always ask, like, I believe the exact same thing you do. It's like people say, did you set out the intention to start this business and do this thing? I'm like, no, fuck no. I was just helping
Right.
myself, and it sure the heck happened that you get to help other people. It worked out brilliantly. But for yourself, were people asking you about your skincare? Like, was that the thing that was like kind of made you stand out? Like all of your girlfriends are like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I interviewed the creator of the Trader Joe's list. I don't know if you follow her on online. Trader
No,
Joe's.
I need to.
Yeah, yeah. Natasha, she's great. And she has TraderJoe'sList.com. She's got millions of followers and all the things. And she's like, I started this because all of my girlfriends were asking me what snacks to buy at Trader Joe's. And now, 10 years later, she's millions of followers doing all the things. So is that one of the reasons why you started? Like, were people asking you?
Yeah, it was. A lot of people would send me messages, and I would find myself typing out exactly what I was doing. And people were like, but how do you do this? Why do you do this? And I'm like, you know what? It might be easier for me to get on a platform and just talk to you about it. And so that's what I started doing. And also I was watching TikTok, and I saw all the Alex Earls, and I saw all the girls doing the skincare. And sometimes certain people, and Alex Earl's so cute. And sometimes some skincare girlies were not doing it right. And so I'm thinking, no, no, no. Why are they spreading? No, let me get on here. I could do this. I know what I'm talking about. Let me just try, and let me just see how people react to it. And it happened pretty quickly. I mean, within the first year, I think I got 400,000 followers.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild. It
So
was wild.
you started in summer of 2021 or
I
two?
started January, well, I started January of 2023 is when I started posting every
Oh my
single
God.
day.
Okay, so really only like a year and a half. You've
Yeah,
basically got, oh heck yeah, and you've got like 8 million views on Twitter. So did you
yeah.
start Twitter and then do Instagram, or is that like what was
So
the
I had always been on Instagram like for family stuff,
okay.
but I started TikTok with the videos, with the skincare videos. And then I made my Instagram for Mixon method, which I put all of my TikTok on the Instagram as well. I still have my private Instagram for
Yeah.
family stuff, but yeah, I started TikTok with that because I saw everybody doing it. I'm like, well, I mean, I could do that.
So
That's
did you
easy.
set out to just serve, or did you go, oh, I can do that and I can actually make money on that?
No, I never thought I'd make money. I thought maybe I would get like a couple of free skincare products. That's what I was like, ooh, maybe I'll get some free skincare or here. I never thought about making money. I never thought making my own skincare line ever. I was doing it for fun. My husband, I was very blessed with my husband saying, do what you want, stay home with the kids. And he was like, have fun with it. I was never doing it to make money. I was doing it because I wanted to help people. I
Yeah.
didn't think I would get 500,000 followers. I didn't think anything of that. I thought maybe some people would, start wearing sunscreen more often, and I would be happy about that. So yeah, it definitely wasn't for a job. It was just for fun.
So how has it remained just for fun, or how have you along the way over the last, basically, I mean, it's only been a year and a half. Over the last
Yeah.
year and a half, have you started thinking about like what does the future look like, or where does this kind of go? What am I going to do with it? Has that kind of become on the
Yeah, for
front?
sure. And I'm starting my own skincare line called Mixon Method. The first product is called Afterglow, so it's in the production phase right now. I never was going to do that either, and my followers were like, "You need to do a skincare line." I'm like, "But I didn't want to do that. I love all my skincare. I would never get rid of my skincare." So what am I doing? I'm creating a skincare product that goes with all of your skincare because I'm not giving up all of my brands and my products that I love, but this will enhance the products that you use. So it is in the production phase. I have toners coming out, moisturizers, I have it all. I have a men's line coming out, and it's really just, I don't know, it's kind of just blown up. Honestly, I was not prepared, but what I love is that it has created a community of the most amazing people that are finding their confidence. And I'll tell you, the best part is when I get messages from teenage boys, maybe 14, 15 years old. Thank you so much for allowing me to feel normal about doing my skincare. Thank you so much. I had acne because, a lot of 14, 15-year-old boys, they don't want to be doing their skincare, but they are. But they were afraid to say that I'm doing skincare with the fear of being made fun of. And so for me, I'm normalizing skincare. That's why I love it. It's inclusive, it's for everyone. No one is left out. And so that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love it. And especially in my community, everybody's welcome. A lot of people are like, I don't even do all the stuff that you do. I would never put this stuff on my face, but I love your community and I love your page. And that to me, I'm like, hey, keep on coming over. That's fine. We love that.
I think that's so wonderful because it shows people, because the whole purpose of everything, kind of like what I do, is just helping people decide it's their turn, like
Right.
how do someone decide it's their turn? Because one of the things that I think that you're blessed you didn't run into this situation, but a lot of people, and I'm sure you know this in your community, a lot of people think about doing something for a really long time. It is in their heart, it is in their soul. I remember 5-10 years ago, only 5 years ago, I was doing a speech and I talked and I was so passionate. I was like, if you love baking fucking cupcakes, bake the cupcakes and quit thinking about how does it turn into a business, or how does it turn into a 500,000 person TikTok account. Do the thing that you ultimately, like, God put in your soul to do, that you have such passion for. Like, you guys, if you do not follow Ashley at this point in time, and it is so crazy because I just think, who doesn't know her? And yet you don't know what the Enneagram is. And in my brain, I'm like, how does she not know what this is? But it's just like one of those things that, like, I'm sure there's going to be people that are listening to this that do not know your community, that do not know anything about skincare. But I just think it's one of the craziest things where people hold themselves back from doing something because they're so afraid about the next step. And I think Ashley is a perfect example of just, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to see what happens. And a year and a half later, you've now created this massive community. Do you think further along about the community and about, how you're going to, ride with your community?
Yes, I definitely want, I'm one of those that I'm very engaged with my audience. Some can say I'm chronically online, and that may very well be true, but I want to engage with my audience. I want to answer questions. I'm not one of those that, oh,
Do you have
here
a
I
team
posted a,
yet? Do you have an assistant yet?
no,
Girl,
no, I need
business
it. I need it.
101. Oh my
I'm
God.
doing it
Once
all
this is
myself.
over,
I
I
have
will
my
send you.
management. I have my management team that handles all of like my business affairs, all of my brand deals and stuff. But as far
Yeah.
as like a personal assistant who answers things for me and no, no, I'm on the phone. I am responding because I haven't found somebody that's going to respond the way I want them to yet. And I like it to be a very personable thing. But I
Totally,
do
and
have my
that
web.
I agree with. Do not I would never, like, advise someone to delegate that first, but what you can
Yeah,
delegate is your videos and, like, your clippings and, like, that kind of stuff because that is the most time consuming,
it
and you can
is.
pay yes, and you can pay someone to do that. That's business
See,
101.
that's what I need.
Yes,
I need somebody
that's
to
what you're
edit the videos. The
correct.
editing is what kills me. The
Totally. But
editing is like,
your voice is what people are paying for and why you have created such a community and your authenticity and stuff like that. People always think that that's the first thing to kind of delegate. I would highly recommend not doing that. But
yeah.
the editing, the stuff that like literally AI tools, girl, I can video AI can do that kind of stuff for you now.
Well, I need to find out exactly the
I'll
program
share it
for it.
when
Send
this
it
is
to me,
over. I'll share it.
please. Because honestly, I could be pumping out 20 videos a day if I didn't have to edit them because
And
I'm a
that's how you
perfectionist.
scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
So
you
yeah,
can
so
get that
I
many
get
more
burnt out.
videos online.
Yeah. Yeah. But I have my website, mixonmethod.com, and I want to eventually have be able to do virtual consultations with people. Listen, I'm not a dermatologist or an esthetician. I never went to school for that, only for the reason that I didn't want to prescribe medication. And I never wanted to own a med spa and do services on people. It's not, I mean, I respect both of those fields to the highest degree, but people think that some people think because if you don't have a degree in something then you don't know what you're talking about, and I find that highly untrue. I feel that if you are interested in something, you want to research and find out more. People always ask, do you consider yourself an expert? And I say absolutely not. I know a lot, but I feel that if I say I'm an expert then I've hit my ceiling. I'm learning every single day. Like I learn something new from my audience, my followers every single day. I'm a big fan of constructive criticism. I love to learn. So I do not consider myself an expert, but I do know a lot and I'm very confident. I could go toe to toe with a dermatologist and be just fine. I'm very confident in that because I
You
know
are
what I know.
like a billboard for my business. I tell people all the time, are you going to hire the Harvard degree or are you going to hire the person who has confidence and self-trust in themselves all day, every day? And I've been doing this for 7 years, helped hundreds of clients, made millions of dollars, and I do not have a degree to do this.
Love it. You
Yeah.
don't always need a degree
No, I think
to
that
know
holds
what you're
people
talking
back a
about.
lot because I think a lot of people are saying they don't have the paper on the wall, but the number one thing is action. And you are a shining example for that. You got online, you started taking action. You got online, started sharing projects. You got online and created a website. You're taking the action. And if you would have waited for the degree on the wall, you'd still have 0 followers.
Yeah, it's just would you want to do something, you can't wait until you have everything lined up perfectly. It's never going to work like that. My beauty room that I'm in now, it took me over a year to get this. This used to be my gym. I was not using it as a gym. I go to the gym. I was using my bathroom downstairs. It's a big bathroom, but my husband was like, honey, this is getting out of control with the skincare. I'm like, that's fine. I'm going to make a beauty room. And this, I loved I'm surrounded by all my things up here. But if I had waited until I got this, I would just start doing it now. You can't wait. You have to do it. And
Yes.
just know that not everybody is going to agree with you, and somebody's always going to have an opinion, and that is okay. Let them.
I think, the three main things I always see is fear of failure, people not feeling like they're worthy and the confidence thing. And I believe that you're a person of faith as well. I'm a
Yes.
Christian and I believe 100% we were all born worthy. But I think
Yeah.
the main thing that we can build is that resilience muscle, that confidence muscle. You are always going to get kicked down. That's the fastest way to learn what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. I mean, we've always said that people are afraid of failing. Well, failing is just getting information to figure out what works and what doesn't. I'm sure you quote unquote failed in the last year and a half. Have you had some bombs in the last year and a half?
Of course. Of course. Absolutely. I've done things on my skin where I'm like, oh,
I
that
saw your
wasn't
video where you
right.
went completely red.
I used a glycolic acid toner on my skin and I looked at it, I'm like, oh no, this is not right. So no, I mess up all the time, but I'm not afraid to say it. I'm a hot mess sometimes, but I have it together too. I'm not afraid to admit if I've done something wrong. I'm also the type that if somebody's calling out my flaws, I've already seen them. I'm already aware of my flaws. I always talk about my neck. Everybody has something they don't like. I'm not a huge fan of my neck. I already talk about it. So if somebody's going to speak negatively about me, I'm like, well, I've already said that. You're a broken record. We've already established how I feel about this or that or whatever. Or people accuse me of having plastic surgery. I have nothing against plastic surgery. Everybody needs to do what makes them feel good. But it's truly skincare that I have done. So for when people say, "Oh, it's just she's had a facelift," it's very dismissive. It's like if you've put together a 12-course meal and a friend comes over, oh, well, she had it catered. It's very dismissive. So that's when I get a little like, "Ugh." But you have to just stand behind what you're here for, knowing good and well that people are going to come for you no matter what. And it's just about how you react. And the
Yeah.
blocking button is so fun. Just block. You don't have to explain, just block.
Just block. I love it. No, and I think that that's really helpful. I've all the time when people are starting something new and they're like, oh my gosh, well, what if my brother sees it or my best friend from high school or whatever it is? I was like, you know what? Permission to block them for now until you build the confidence muscle to say, I've been doing this such a long time that I don't get a ton of hate. I'm sure you get so much because it is based upon your appearance and you're putting that up
Mhm.
there. And that's like just such a topic that so many people have an opinion on. I am very vocal on this podcast. I had a horrible eating disorder for so many years. And, I've been good for probably the last 7 to 10 years. And
That's amazing.
thank you. I really appreciate it. It has everything to do with mindset and God. But
Absolutely.
all of that to be said is like, I am so proud of myself now that like I love myself. And I think the one thing that obviously we didn't know each other before this, but the one thing that I'm really kind of, and you never know how someone really is on social media because there's so much fake bullshit on social media. But
Yeah.
the one thing about you is, that internal confidence. I talk about that all the time. I put two photos side by side, me now, me, at 20 years old. What's the
Mhm.
difference? Externally, people couldn't see the difference. Internally, it's a completely different ball game. And I think for you, that internal confidence is one of the reasons why you've had so much success. You trust yourself, you know who you are and why you believe what you do. And that to me is such a foundation for anyone wanting to start anything.
Absolutely. And I do believe age definitely has something to do with that. I'm 44. I think when you hit 40, I don't know if you get it, you just
Yes.
change. Something changes to where your confidence level is here. In my 20s, I was a yes person. I didn't want to ruffle any feathers. I was a party girl. I did all this, I did all that. I've lived through it. Um, Being in my 40s, I know that I can say no, and that is a sentence. I don't have to explain why. I can say no. And what I love is that I have this, a lot of my followers call me like their big sister because I give them, because I've lived that life. I give them the advice. And a lot of people are like, I've never had someone to tell me to wear sunscreen. I've never had a mother to teach me. They call me Mama Mixon sometimes, and I love it. So, like you said, you don't know really how the internet is, and people do create these parasocial relationships. For me, that is so lovely. To me, it doesn't bother me. I love that someone sees someone on the internet, they can feel my authenticity and that I am a genuine person, and they feel comfortable enough to listen to me. I mean, that's such an honor to come and listen to me. People will say, I've had a really bad day. All I want to do is come. And if I listen to your video, it calms me down. And I'm like, tell my husband that.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. But no, I think one of the things that you said in the beginning of this podcast, and I didn't point it out then, that I think is really cool. One of the things that you said about your son, and I'm not a mom. I chose not to be a mom. My husband and I have been together for over 20 years. I have the greatest marriage, but we chose not to have children. But one of the things, I work with a ton of moms, ton of parents, and you moms have such a hard time taking care of yourselves first. And one of the things that you said is you were living kind of your life through your children and really kind of having that realization that you needed to take care of yourself. And
Mhm.
I wish if I could grant a magic wand for all you moms out there, that
Mhm.
is so unbelievable that you were able to witness that, be able to help yourself, which in turn helps your children. And I know that your channel is definitely about the skincare and the beauty, but relating that message to your community, I think is so huge.
Absolutely. Self-care is not vain. It's
No.
not vanity. Skincare is not vanity. Your skin is your largest organ. It protects your beautiful body and all the things inside of it. Take care of it. And yes, as a mother, we mothers, fathers, whomever, we always tend to put ourselves last. And my mother did that as well. She put everybody before herself. And after she passed away, I noticed that. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going, my husband says, your mama comes through you every day. And I'm like, that is such a compliment. But I did. I said, kids, I love you, but I'm not going to be the one to push you to play the sport. If you want to play, you're going to play. If you don't want to, I'm not going to push it. So we're going to take a season off. And they know when mommy's in the bathroom, she's doing her skincare. But it's also a really nice bonding moment with your significant other, your children, your best friend, whomever, to get in the bathroom or wherever and do your skincare because the conversation flows. It's a really beautiful bonding moment. So if you're having trouble talking to your teenagers, do some skincare with them. The teenagers that I'm getting messages for are craving that. They're craving that bonding moment with someone. And I think that's why they like to come here with me because I'm like, hey, let's just be extra and do it all. You can always come here and we're gonna do skincare. But yeah, my kids, I was living vicariously through them and I said that's not healthy for anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, taking care of yourself, put yourself first. You always have to put your mask on before you can help somebody else.
Yes, the airplane analogy. So when you started, you just decided to go online every single day and just do your skincare routine morning or evening, or how did it actually start? Because I think that sometimes it's easy for people to kind of hear it, but I love to give it like a tangible. So you literally just started a Twitter, or pardon me, a TikTok account, and you're like, I'm just going to go on here and do my skincare every day. And then where did it go from there?
So I started doing little things. I started doing kind of makeup, like get ready with me, and that was fine. But skincare is my niche. I don't even wear a lot of makeup. Skincare is
I
my
was about
thing.
to
So
say,
one,
I literally had that question. I was like, what is about fashion and what about makeup? Because I don't see you wearing a ton of makeup.
I have on a little bit today, but honestly, I have on a skin tint and a little bit of I have on the new Rhode pocket blush. Like I don't wear a lot because I don't like
I've
a lot of
never
heavy
put on
makeup.
foundation in my whole entire life except
You
for a
don't need
photo
it.
shoot. Girl,
You
I'm
don't need
telling
it.
you, I remember my assistant one time, she's like, where's your makeup or something for something? And I was like, I think I got mascara, concealer, eyeliner, and lipstick. That's all I
You're
have. My
good.
bag is like this big. It's so bad. I feel like I've missed something though, because I'm like
You're
42
not.
years old and I literally have never worn makeup.
Look, you don't need it. You don't need a lot of makeup. Honestly, you don't need it. I remember reading an article in Vogue when I was 20, and it said any woman over the age of 30 does not need to step out of the house unless they have a full face of foundation on. And I said,
Oh
oh,
my
that's a bet. And so I really went crazy with the skincare. I'm like, oh no, we're not doing that. But yeah, I started posting every day. I started posting little makeup things. Somebody asked me a question. They said, how do you get your face so plumped? I responded to a comment and I went into my whole skincare routine, and that video went viral. It got 2 million views that night. I got the worst hate messages of my life. I was like, whoa. And next day I got on there and I said, okay, y'all are not going to talk to me like this. Let's sit down and have a conversation. Okay. And I just kind of laid it out. I'm like, because I'm not the one. I'm not the one you're going to talk to like this. But if you have questions, let's get it going. We can have a conversation about it. And that's what I started doing. They said, well, what is snail mucin? So I would make a video about snail mucin. And then somebody reported me to PETA.
Oh
You
my
have got
God,
to
no.
find something else to do. It's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
So I
That
had
is
to
so
go into
crazy.
explaining how they harvest the snail mucin, and it's very humane and they don't hurt the snails. So it just kind of it just snowballed into this thing. And Now I'm using salmon DNA on my face and royal jelly and all this
The royal
stuff. And
jelly, I used to like eat that years ago for
it's
hormones
great.
or something like that. I stopped taking it. God, literally, ladies, I promise you, I hope you're sharing this with your younger people in your life, your sons, your daughters, because I wish someone would have told me your skin is the most important thing. Take care of it.
It
So
is.
let's just throw it out there. I know the answer to this because I've followed you for such a long time. But if you guys are watching this on YouTube or you're looking at these clips online, Ashley, what have you actually done to your face besides skincare?
I have not done anything to my face. The last time I had Botox or filler was when I was 36 for my birthday. I'm 44. I'll be 45 September 30th.
You are a poster child. Oh my God, I love it. You're absolutely gorgeous. Every time I look, I'm like, I really hope she's lying, but she's really not, you guys. She's really not lying. She is just literally,
No.
your skin is this perfect, but you've been doing it since you're 11.
I've been doing it for a long time,
My
but
question
also
is though,
understand
go ahead.
I'm not against injectables at all. I think that's what if people want to do it, but I feel that people need to understand that when you do injectables, you still have to take care of your skin. It's not going to make your skin glassy and glowy and healthy. It'll take your wrinkles away, but it's not going to keep your skin health strong. So do Botox, do it all. Who cares? I mean, that's fine. I have a lot of followers who say I only have to get Botox once a year now because the skincare is helping it. That's great. There's nothing wrong with maintaining the way that you want to look and feel. I'm all about it. And I'm not saying I'll never get Botox or filler again. I just haven't in a really long time, and I'm not planning on it right now. But will I ever? Maybe. I'm not
Yeah,
against
that
it.
and I love that. I love that answer too, because I'm totally with you. I mean, everyone has a comment about everything. And I think that, we've got a comment about fillers, injections, boob jobs, like all the things. It's like, you know what? You do you. This is your life. And I think that that's kind of, I'm not an American by birth. I was actually born in Canada, but now I'm an American. And I think it is the greatest blessing on the planet. I'm the biggest fan ever. And the reason why is because I just think freedom is the greatest thing. That's my
Yeah.
one kind of political stance is like, I just
Yeah.
want freedom, freedom and
Yeah.
safety, baby, freedom and safety. That's where I'm at. But
Exactly.
you have the choice to decide it's your turn for anything, and you have the choice to, get the full facelift, do the whole damn thing if you want. Or I think it's really cool that you're showing. My question to you is, at 42 years of age, since I haven't been doing this since I'm 11, will I see good results?
In 2 weeks.
Wow.
In 2 weeks. I suggest start using tretinoin. Get
Okay,
you a
so what,
retinoid.
like, if anyone's listening, they're like me and they don't do it. What are like the top 5 things we all need to go out and get right now?
Sunscreen every single day, even if you're in the house, sunscreen. Absolutely. It's a non-negotiable for me. Get a good facial mist. It doesn't even have to be anything crazy, but this is a really good rule. In your shower, put your facial mist in your shower. As soon as you turn that shower off, don't dry your face off. Spray your face 5 times with the facial mist. Your face is going to soak up that moisture. You're going to walk out plumped. Put your lotion on in the shower after you're finished because you've got the humidity. It's going to keep your skin really, really hydrated. A good cleanser, double cleansing is very important. An oil cleanser first, followed by a water-based cleanser. The oil cleanser gets off the sunscreen makeup pollution for the day. A water-based cleanser will not get that off. You don't have to do it in the morning, but you should do it at night. You don't have to do all the toners. If you want to, do it. Make sure that they're not AHA, BHA. Make sure that they are hydrating toners. Don't over exfoliate by means of if you're using a salicylic acid or glycolic acid, 1 to 2 times a week max. If you over exfoliate, you're going to damage your skin barrier and it just becomes a big mess. But really, just get on a routine of cleansing your skin, putting on a moisturizer, and putting on sunscreen every single day. I think consistency is key. When you feel like you want to be a little more advanced, get you a toner and start layering it. Just layer skin flood. That's exactly what it's called. You're flooding your skin with hydration. And I know it sounds crazy and you're going to feel wet, but I promise you it's amazing. Once you start flooding, you can't go back.
You guys go check out Ashley right now on TikTok, especially on Instagram, Ashley Mixon. I follow her. She is just, you're just a light. So, and honestly, like, and looking at you makes us feel like there's hope.
Listen, you're never too old or too young to start skincare. That's the thing.
And you have in your Instagram for sure, you have highlights of where all the products are, how we can buy them, like
I
all of the
do.
things.
I do. I buy all of my Korean beauty on sokoglam.com, and I think everybody should just go on that website just to read.
Do
They have
you
a
have a
skin con
page on that website where you're making affiliates?
I do. I haven't well,
Okay, good.
they've actually made, it's called Ashley Mixon the
Ah,
List, and it's
that's
all the
awesome.
products that I've used. I was the first affiliate for Soko Glam, and
That's awesome.
it's amazing. I've become really great friends with them, but they're an amazing, amazing retail for everything K-beauty. But Charlotte Cho writes these beautiful blogs. She's so well respected in the skincare community. She has her skincare brand called Then I Met You. It's incredible. So I suggest everybody go to Soko Glam and just look at the website and
Is it
read.
SOCOGLAM.com?
SOKO.
SOKO. Okay, perfect.
GLAM.com. And if you want to purchase anything that you can use Ashley 10 and it'll give you, but don't feel like you have to do
No,
that.
we
I
want
just
to.
want
We want to. Everyone use Ashley 10
you
to get a discount, and it obviously
anything.
benefits you. I'm a big, like, my clients know we're here to make money, we're here to change the
Yeah.
world. Like, do it, girl. Use that
And
code.
I think you're gonna fall in love with the website. You learn so much every time you go on there. It's a beautiful website, and Soko Glam is just a beautiful company. And I'm a big supporter of small businesses as well. So yeah, I have
Absolutely.
a link tree that has all my links for everything. It's on my bio. It'll say link tree. Just click on that. It's got every single thing that I do. It'll take you where you need to go. And my Amazon storefront, I always try to update that for anybody. I always listen, we like to get coupons, okay? I like coupon codes. I'm not going to buy anything full price. So if
Girl,
I can
I'm
get you
here
a
for it.
coupon code, I got you.
I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, I will drop 5,000 on something, but I would love to save 50 cents on something else.
Yes. Yes. It's
Yes.
girl math.
Oh my God, exactly, girl math. You guys, please, please, please go follow Ashley right now. Check her out on Instagram, over on TikTok. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad thank you for everybody for listening. I hope I helped someone out there. And yeah, come do some skincare with me.
Oh my gosh, every day, you guys, check her out on social media, Ashley Mixon. Thanks so much, girl.
Thank